What's up, gaming heroes? Welcome back to another awesome World of Warcraft video. Today's video, we're going to be covering some more of the Garrisons. I love talking about Garrisons because I've got so much knowledge about it, and as you can imagine, that makes me very passionate about this particular subject. Sorry if I'm at all off today. I've had my second COVID jab, and I'm not gonna lie, the guy, he really went for it. I thought he was trying to dig for gold in my arm. He stabbed it really far in, safe to say. The first one, my first jab, didn't even feel it go in. I really didn't even feel it go in. The next day I felt really ill, obviously. I didn't feel the needle even enter. This time he was like, I thought he was trying to dig for gold. I was like, jeez, man. Wouldn't stop bleeding, so they had to plaster it up. I thought I was going to die. No, I wasn't going to die, but you know, guys. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Remember, anything regarding, Garrisons and everything like that, I actually have some awesome guides over on my Patreon where I go into loads of detail about the Garrisons, both for gold making and for leveling. All the information on my Patreon can be found on my YouTube additionally, but, over on my Patreon, it's written down and it's a written guide that I've, gone through quality assurance with other gold makers to make sure that they're happy with that. So if you are looking for something like that, feel free to support me on Patreon and you get access to that. Thank you so much for all of the patrons I've currently got. Really appreciate it. I think it's like 28 right now, and I super appreciate every single one of you. You're helping me get one step closer to becoming a full-time content creator. Massively appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so Garrisons. This video, I really just want to cover some fundamentals when it comes to Garrisons. Garrisons. My voice cracking. What a silly sausage. Okay, so I get a lot of people asking me in the comments section below on all my videos to do with Garrisons, how much gold can you make per week with Garrisons? And I just want to correct this form of thinking and go into detail about it because people just want quick and easy answers. But unfortunately with the Garrisons, because they're so complicated, it's almost impossible for me to give you quick and easy answers. So I will try and break it down in the simplest way I possibly can, not to patronize you, it's just very complicated, and I'll try and break that down. So first of all, the best way to make gold in the Garrison without shadow of doubt is the Inscription building, okay? The Inscription building, if you give them cerulean pigments, you can exchange those cerulean pigments with work orders, and these work orders will create war paints. War paints can be used to craft cards of omens. Why do we like cards of omens? We like cards of omens because each card of omen is worth 4 gold 65 silver, not on the auction house. This is worth 4 gold 65 silver raw gold. You can sell this to a vendor and get that gold, okay? Now, what do I mean an average? Okay, so a card of omen is basically a card where you can right click it and it will flip the card and tell you, what rarity this card is. And it'll be anything that's worth like 1 copper all the way up to 6,000 gold for 1 card. Now, millions and millions and millions of these cards, and I'm talking literal millions of these cards, have been flipped. And we found that the average value of these cards over millions of cards being flipped is 4 gold 65 silver. Now, each craft of Cards of Omens is 10 cards. Alright? Now, theoretically, if you have a full setup functioning Garrison that works perfectly, you can make 48 Cards of Omens per week. Per 5 days, sorry. Per 5 days, not per week, Erosium, you sausage. Per 5 days. So that's a full, 5 days work orders. 48. That turns out to be 480 Cards of Omens. Now, if we do the maths on that, 480 times 4.65 is 2,232. Now, I'm not guaranteeing you're going to get 4 gold 65 per card, because that is an average taking over, thousands and thousands and thousands of cards. Sometimes you'll get a lot more. I've had a lot more. I've flipped 10,000 cards before and averaged at 6 gold 30 silver each. And then I've flipped another 10,000 cards and I've averaged below 4 gold 65. It's very dependent, and I've even got videos to prove this on my channel where I flipped thousands and thousands of cards of omens and worked out the average based on how much I made. The beauty of this is you can actually sell these to the vendor. And if you don't want to do that, you can actually sell them to the auction house, and people who like to gamble can go ahead and buy those from the auction house and effectively flip them themselves. So you're offering that service. Now, when you're someone like myself who's got 38 characters making Cards of Omens, you can imagine I'm probably making quite a lot of gold on these. So if you do 38 characters times, like, not all of my characters are fully set up yet. So not all of them are making 480 a week. Some are making, like, 20. Sorry, when I say 480, I mean 48. Some are making 20, stuff like that. So let's just do an average of 35 for now, yeah? Because I think that's fair. So 35 is 350 Cards of Omens each. And that works out to be about 13,300 per week that I would make. That's per 5 days, not per week. I keep saying that. But the important difference there is that there are only obviously 4 weeks per month. However, when it comes down to 5 days, there are usually 5 weeks, 5 sets of 5 in a month. So that's why it kind of makes a big difference when you're working out the maths on this. So 13,300 times 4.65 equals 62,000 gold every 5 days. This is raw gold. Obviously, you're going to spend the time flipping. It's up to you if you want to do it like that. You don't have to. You can sell it on the auction house. I tend to sell it on the auction house for around 5 to 6 gold. Sometimes I sell it for 4 gold 60. I will sell it anything down to 4 gold 10 silver personally. I won't go below that. It's dependent though if you've got competition or not. Alright, so that's 62,000 gold. And let's just look at a typical month. How many days is in there this month? There's 30 days. So that's 6 sets of 5, okay? So if I do 62,000 gold times 6, I would be making this month alone from Cards of Omens 372,000 gold. That's just Cards of Omens, okay? Now, some of you in the comment section are wily, you're clever, you're intelligent, and you're saying, Erosium, how much does that cost you to actually do? And you are quite correct, good sir. Thank you very much for pointing that out to me. It cost me nothing. What? 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 Whoa, whoa, whoa. Erosium, don't you start with me on that nonsense. It didn't cost you nothing to make that gold. I know it cost you something. How'd you get the cerulean pigments then, huh? Well, we get the cerulean pigments because I have salvage yards set up on every single one of my characters who has a garrison. Salvage yard is a building that you can access, I believe, at level 30. You can do the quest and you can build that. It might be level 35. I'm pretty sure it's level 30. I have to check my guide on my Patreon and check that for sure. But you can basically access that quest line, which is over in Spires of Iraq. When you've built the salvage yard on every single one of your alts, when you're completing basically garrison missions and you have a successful garrison mission, you have a chance of getting a salvage crate. I take all these salvage crates, I go over to my salvage yard and I open up the salvage crate. The salvage crate will give you A, garrison resources. All right, you always get garrison resources. Then B, you can get random transmogs. Then you can get weapon and armor upgrades for your followers. Or additionally, you can get random Warlords of Draenor trade goods. We want herbs. Why do we want herbs, Erosium? Because with the herbs from Warlords of Draenor, you basically use those with Inscription and you turn those into cerulean pigments. Now, if you have learnt the mass milling technique from Samantha Scarlet on the Alliance, and I think the Horde version is Nicholas, you can turn these herbs into basically cerulean pigments on a mass scale, so you can do it really quickly as shown in this video. And you are basically supplying your Cards of Omens from your salvage yard. The only additional benefit you're getting from this is by successfully completing missions on your mission table, you're also getting garrison resources. Garrison resources can be traded at the trading post for Warlords of Draenor herbs. So therefore, we are completely supplying our Inscription huts with our garrison resources. So therefore, we are always making gold without needing to spend any gold. Now, how do you get more garrison resources from your mission table? Simply having a Dwarven Bunker level 2 will allow you to complete work orders, which will give you weapon and armor upgrades. And when your followers hit level 40, you can start to apply those weapon and armor upgrades to those followers and therefore increase their success chance on these missions. Now, if you're smart and you've got a Lunaful in level 2, you can actually hire followers with traits Extreme Scavenger. Extreme Scavengers have a 200%. Extreme Scavengers will get 200% garrison resources on successful garrison resource missions. So say you've got a mission that gives you 1,000 garrison resources as a reward. If you've got 3 followers with 200% garrison resource success, which is Extreme Scavenger trait, then you will effectively get 600% garrison resources on the initial reward. That is massive. You could effectively get, 7,000 garrison resources just from one mission if it's really successful. So this is how you can basically maximize your opportunity to get lots more garrison resources and supply yourself with even more materials to get these, these work orders done. Now, why is it 5 days and not 3 days for the inscription work orders? So when you're filling in your work orders, you obviously create all, and you create all your work orders. And if you haven't got a storehouse, it will only be every 3 days. So every 3 days, you're going to have to log into each character and redo your work orders. That's quite a lot of work for me. I don't want to do it every 3 days. So therefore, I build my storehouse on my third small plot, which you get at basically garrison level 3. And I upgrade that all the way up to level 3 storehouse. A level 3 storehouse, it increases your overall work orders for all of your buildings. So therefore, you only have to check it every 5 days. And therefore, you'll reduce the amount you actually have to log in. I tell a lie here. I say every 5 days, but realistically, it's actually every 6 days. It's just that the way Blizzard has it set up is, if you are quick enough, it's really hard to explain this, but when you fill in your work order, say you've got a level 3 storehouse and you're filling in your work order, your inscription building, it will say for 1 second, check back in 6 days. But because of that 1 second passes, it changes automatically to 5 days. And it says check back in 5 days, but it's actually 6 days realistically that you can check back to have all your work orders completed, which is pretty gosh darn cool. Now, the work orders that you are completing, you can complete them even quicker by having your mission table. If you have learned your profession of inscription, at your mission table, you can complete missions that give you rush work orders. Now, 7 rush work orders is a full week of week of work orders, and therefore you can maximize your gold making potential by simply getting those rush work order missions done as well. All right, so that's how you can make, a ton of gold using the garrisons from Warlords of Draenor. Additionally, I haven't even really talked about all the awesome, rewards that you can get from the mission tables, such as the Coalfist Gronling, which is a mount you can sell for about 2,000 to 6,000 gold on the auction house. The Medallion of Lost Legion, which you can sell for 4,000 to 8,000 gold on the auction house. The treasure maps, which, you can sell to a vendor for 100 gold. There's honestly so much there, it's really hard to say all of it, but that is just some of the gold making methods that you can use. There are additional methods as well, but I'm not going to go into it right now, but I just wanted to show you that. Now, additionally, say you've got too many garrison resources and you just want to use up some of your garrison resources, go ahead and buy Sumptuous Fur when it's cheap, which is usually when it's worth 16 or 20 garrison resources. You buy your Sumptuous Fur and you buy your True Iron Ore. These two things can be made with engineering from Warlords of Draenor into Goblin Gliders. You can sell Goblin Gliders on the auction house for anything from 6 to 14 gold each. And as you're making a huge amount of these, I think it's 5 at a time, you can have huge amounts of gold coming in from that, from just additional garrison resources. This is how I basically make a ton of gold. I really hope you found some of this, this information useful here. And if you did, please make sure you subscribe and you click the like button. I want to get more of these videos out there and hopefully encourage Blizzard to do some more work on the Garrison, maybe even bring it, up to Shadowlands level. It'd be really cool if Blizzard went back and looked at some of these old systems and made them more relevant to today's current gameplay. I think that would make the game in general really fun to play. Thanks for watching. This is Erosium out, and I will see you next time.